Welcome to Scrammerstown for the Berwick Sevens, where 12 teams compete in the latest round of Kings of the Sevens. To bring us up to date with the story so far, let's go to Stuart Cameron.
So round 4 of the Kings of the Sevens, and Scrammerstown the venue for the ANCROFT Tractors Limited Berwick Sevens. 12 teams, 4 pools of 3, so each club got 2 games guaranteed, and in Pool 1 it was Kelso who went through after beating Melrose and Hawick. In Pool 2, Selkirk overcame both Gala and Watsonians to make their way through to the semi at the top half of the draw. In Pool 3, no problems for hosts Berwick as they disposed of Earlston and the President's 7, scoring 120 points in the process, while in Pool 4, Jedforest comfortably dispatched Edinburgh Accies and Berwick Bears. And so to the first semi-final between Kelso and Selkirk raced to an early lead with a couple of tries from Aaron McComb and Andrew Grant Sutty. One of them converted to give them a 12-0 lead at the break. Selkirk were beaten finalists at the opening sevens at Peebles, but couldn't take part in round 2 at Hawick when they had to withdraw through COVID, so they were keen to get back on track at Berwick. Kelso scored next though after half-time, with Dwayne Patterson creating space and offloading to Keith Melbourne. But a good piece of work from Grant Sutty again pulled the suitors clear, with skipper Ryan Cottrell converting. And to make the tie safe, Lachlan Ferguson burst clear to give Selkirk a 26-5 victory, converting his own try and the first team to book their place in the final. In the second semi, it was all about Jedforest. They took an early lead in typical Jed fashion, Gregor Young getting past Ewan Thompson and slipping an inside pass out to Rory Marshall, who went in to score, with Gary Munro adding the extras. Success at Sevens relies on players always being available for offloads. The ever-present Gregor Young was on Scott's shoulder to pop over for a second converted try. Finlay Scott is an impressive individual and showed a good turn of pace before being held up, but once again a teammate always available, and this time Robbie Shirra-Gibb providing the support, and he ran in for try number 3, again converted by Gary Munro. 21-0 at half-time and a mountain to climb for Berwick. Things got worse for the home club just after the turn when Gary Munro fired out a long pass to Dom Buckley, who had plenty of space to run into and chalk up a 4th Jedforest try. This time, Lewis Young curling in a kick to push the score up to 28-0. Fair play to Berwick though, they never gave up, and Adam Hardy moved the ball out to club captain Jack Webster. He linked up with one of Berwick's stars in National 3 this season, Aidan Rosie, and Aidan skipped past first Lewis and then Gregor Young to score in the corner. But Jed had the last word, the final try in the semi-final going their way. Robbie Yorston and Nick Stingle working their magic up the right touchline. Stingle giving a perfectly timed pass to Yorston for a 5th try and a comfortable passage to the final. Yes, the final of the ANCROFT Tractors Limited Berwick Sevens. It's between Jedforest and Selkirk. Having a look at the Selkirk teams, the starters in black: Andrew Grant Sutty, Robert Cook, Ethan McVicker, Aaron McComb, Ryan Cottrell, Kevin Brown and Lachlan Ferguson for Selkirk. For Jed, it's Dom Buckley, Finlay Scott, Gregor Young, Gary Munro, Rory Marshall, Lewis Young and Robbie Shirra-Gibb. And no doubt we'll be seeing some of the others greyed out at the moment taking part in the final. So we're all set and ready. The referee is Michael Todd from Melrose. It's the final of the Berwick Sevens 2022. Lewis Young taking the ball. Bit of attention from Robert Cook straight away and Kevin Brown as well. Jed know how to play sevens. Dom Buckley spreading it wide out to captain Gregor Young on the far side of the pitch. Finlay Scott to Gary Munro. Robbie Shirra-Gibb, good to see him back playing sevens again. And Rory Marshall had a bit of a bump on his nose earlier on in one of the ties, but nothing will stop him. Robbie Shirra-Gibb on the ball now. Gary Munro, fantastic sevens player, knows how to create space, as does this man, Lewis Young. He's got Rory Marshall in support. That's Aaron Coombe bringing him down. Jedforest venturing further into the Selkirk half of the field, spreading it wide again. Finlay Scott trying to evade Ryan Cottrell's tackle, and the referee blows up. Bit of holding on, so possession going the Selkirk way. That's Lachlan Ferguson out to the captain, who is Ryan Cottrell. Again, good to see him playing. He had a few concussion moments in his early career, but glad to see that he's still playing. Oh, a mistake there from Robert Cook. That will give possession over to Jedforest. Scrum down, Gary Munro putting it in. Don Buckley in the front row with Gregor Young and Finlay Scott. Out it goes to Lewis Young. Bit of a wild pass there, but Robbie Shirra-Gibb has no problem picking it up. Trying to create space on the far side there. There's not much room, but Lewis Young will find the room, and over towards the 22 he goes. There's Robbie Shirra-Gibb inside the 22 for the first time. Is he going to be caught by Lachlan Ferguson, who switches it back to Gary Munro? Not a great pass, and it comes back on the Selkirk side again. Ethan McVicker. Out it goes to Andrew Grant Sutty, who's had a very, very good sevens tournament so far, but it's dropped by Kevin Brown, the speedster, but advantage is over. There is Gregor Young looking for space again. He certainly attracts the attention of the defenders. Out goes Rory Marshall, though. That of course creates space when one player is targeted. Gregor Young looking to get the first try of this final. Out to his brother Lewis, back to Gregor again, still on the outside, pulled down by Kevin Brown. A good defensive work here from Selkirk, and again, and that is Finlay Scott. They're going to go wide, there's plenty of space out there. Don Buckley out to Gary Munro. Munro has got Robbie Shirra-Gibb on the far side. He's fallen down, but Jed's still in possession of the ball. There's Don Buckley, and Don Buckley doesn't need a second invitation. It's a quick tap penalty, and Don Buckley's going to go in for the try. Oh, he's going towards the post. I thought he actually put that ball down, but it's a try nevertheless to Jedforest, the first of the match. Let's have a look at that again. An easy run in for Don Buckley, but did he put that ball down first? That certainly looks on the replay there that he did touch it, but nevertheless he's managed to get a few yards closer to the post for Gary Munro. And will that help him? Well, it hasn't actually helped him at all, so 5-0 is the score. Gary Munro to restart. High floating kick, and it bounces off the back of Ryan Cottrell.
Tackle! The hands blue!
There's Lewis Young. Gary Munro switching it to the left-hand side. Don Buckley again, very hard to take down. Loose pass though, but there's Gary Munro covering, sweeping back there. Robbie Shirra-Gibb now. Up to almost halfway. There's Lewis Young, misses the ball, goes to McVicker. McVicker turns it back to Lachlan Ferguson. This is Andrew Grant Sutty. As I mentioned earlier, he's had a really good tournament so far, but that's not one of his best passes. The ball's still in play though. Kevin Brown throws it loose. More mistakes in this rather nervy start to the final. Gregor Young, Don Buckley selling everyone a dummy, including our cameraman, and Finlay Scott comes back with the ball. Gary Munro, Rory Marshall, changes direction, goes past Ryan Cottrell. Good work from him. Good tackle from Aaron McComb. Good to see Aaron back again playing rugby after his long layoff through injury. There's Gregor Young, Rory Marshall in there as well. Robbie Shirra-Gibb has it. Out it goes to Gary Munro on the left-hand flank. Finlay Scott again. Munro just being patient with it, throwing it. Quite a wild pass, but Lewis Young has collected it. Caught in possession though, but it's still in possession with Jed. And there goes Robbie Shirra-Gibb, another former Melrose player, now a teacher at Peebles. Lewis Young picking up one-handed, goes past Aaron McComb. And this is going to be another try for Jedforest. Ethan McVicker just missing out on the tackle, but Lewis Young, you don't give him as much space as that. Aaron McComb left for dead. Good chase from Ethan McVicker, who just managed to tap his ankles, but it didn't stop him scoring, and that's 10 points to 0 for Jedforest. Gary Munro under the posts. No doubt this will go straight between the posts as well. It does. It's 12-0 to Jedforest. Munro again. Very good kick-off. High ball. Gone loose. Collected once again by Gary Munro. He's got Gregor Young outside him. Taken down though Gregor Young over the ball. Dom Buckley has it now. He's spreading it wide again. Finlay Scott out to Lewis Young. This is good play from Jed. Rory Marshall looking for a way through the gap. He's taken down but gets the ball out to Lewis Young. Switched again. Jed are so good at this. Working the field. Dom Buckley has it now. There's Gregor Young. Gregor Young looking for space. And again attracting 2 or 3 players. That leaves space out wide. Dom Buckley has it out to Lewis Young. Lewis Young now, what's he going to do with it? He's got Rory Marshall coming up on the inside. Rory Marshall goes past Ryan Cottrell. He's not going to be caught. This is going to be try number 3 just before the break. Oh, in a bit hard there from Ryan Cottrell. That went down not too well with Rory Marshall, but it's a try. And the score now up to 17 points to nothing. Rory Marshall, when he gets space, he is almost unstoppable. Ryan Cottrell coming in a wee bit hard there at the end. As I say, Rory Marshall not too happy with that. But they'll all be friends, I'm sure, and he'll still be on his Christmas card list. So 17-0. An easy conversion for Gary Munro. Oh, but he's put it wide. And that is half-time. So a commanding lead for Jedforest, 17 points to 0 in the final of the Berwick Sevens. Ross Goodfellow there, laying down the law, telling them how it's all done. Very experienced Sevens player, of course. And if you're talking about experienced Sevens players, there's Scott White there, former Scotland Sevens international, of course, and captain, and Melrose captain as well. And he's giving advice to the Selkirk team, head coach, of course, of Selkirk this season.
Rock's formed.
Michael Todd, referee, saying ruck is formed, so possession going back to Selkirk inside their own 22. Out it goes Lachlan Ferguson, back to Ryan Cottrell. Ethan McVicker has the ball now on his own 22, and he's shaken free there. He's got some pace to burn as well, but a good tackle from Gary Munro, but he's still going is Ethan McVicker. Robbie Shiragib trying to get him down, finally succeeds. Good territory gain. He's made about 70 yards there as Ethan McVicker. It's going to go wide out to Lachlan Ferguson, and now Andrew Grant Sutty. He's been scoring tries for fun in the pools earlier on. Can he get past the Jed defence? It's a loose pass though, and a scrum down. Good tackle from Gary Munro on his opposite number. But he's been penalised. And Selkirk have the penalty just outside the 22, taken quickly from Blake Cullen, who's now on the pitch. He's going wide. Ryan Cottrell. Good loop from Lachlan Ferguson on the left-hand side, and there's the speedster who's come into the Selkirk squad this season, Kevin Brown. Bit of a sprinter and rugby league man as well. Gets it back to Lachlan Ferguson. Did he go in touch? It's a try by the captain, Ryan Cottrell. Let's just have a look at that one again. Some acrobatic work there from Ferguson, but not in touch, and crucially a try for Selkirk. 17 points to 5. Good restart from Cottrell. And here comes a replacement from the Berwick team. This is James Thompson. Selkirk running short at the moment on players. They've had to borrow a couple of Berwick players, including Johnny Dodds, who comes from Merchiston. And there's the other one, James Thompson. Very, very good player, scoring plenty of tries for Berwick in the earlier rounds today. And that's Blake Cullen again. Cullen has got another replacement outside him in Clark Young. Is Clark Young going to get past Rory Marshall? Yes, he is. That's another score for Selkirk. That's going to make things interesting. It's now 17 points to 10. Let's see that again. 2 replacements. Blake Cullen drawing his man out to Clark Young. He had Rory Marshall to beat. A good sidestep and fend off as well. Good upper body strength from Clark Young, and he'll enjoy scoring that. So it's a bit closer now, 17 points to 10. No extras added by Ryan Cottrell, but we're now in a 7-point game in the final.
Balls lifted. No, backwards.
Liam Cassidy spreading it wide. Selkirk though penned inside their own 22. There's Ryan Cottrell, the captain, looking for a way out of here. Good defence from Jedforest. That's Robbie Shiragib with the tackle, and that could be very interesting. A penalty for Jed at a vital time. Gregor Young, he's going to tap and go. And he'll no doubt attract 2 or 3 defenders, which he does. He's not finding a way over the line yet, but he has created space. There's Gary Munro. Miles of space outside. It's going to go to Robbie Urston. He touches down, and that could well be the deciding try. 22 points to 10, Jed lead. Gary Munro, plenty of space out wide, missed out Lewis Young. Robbie Urston with a walk-in, and that could well be the one that seals the title, the 8th title for Jed, but there is time still left in this match as Gary Munro puts it deep. There's Johnny Dodds, 19-year-old from Merchiston. He's been playing for Berwick Bears today, and a great moment for him in the final of the Berwick Sevens. Good Jedforest defence though. There is James Thompson, he's going wide again. Young Johnny Dodds, and out to Andrew Grant Sutty, who's in a sandwich between Findlay Scott and Robbie Urston. Liam Cassidy though with the ball, they're still struggling to get outside the 22. Blake Cullen, and there's the Berwick man James Thompson again, still though inside the 22. Can they find a way out of this one? Clark Young on the right hand side needs to see the ball, and there's his opportunity now. The ball's gone loose, and there a good chance for Clark Young. He's got Gary Munro though to get past, and Gary Munro takes him down, and time running out. It's going to be a penalty to Jed. That's probably going to be the end of the match. Lewis Young asking Michael Todd how much left. He says that's it, it's all over. Gary Munro's going to blast this to the other side of Scremiston. The final whistle goes, and Jedforest have won the Berwick Sevens final for the 8th time by 22 points to 10. So that win takes Jedforest to the top of the K7's table after round 4. They're on 23 points. Melrose have 21, Selkirk 14, Kelso 10, Watsonians 9, and Edinburgh Accies 6.
It's a tournament we love coming down to. We like the Berwick Sevens. We always kind of put in a good performance there, and again we've done it today. So,
of course, your big one was the Edinburgh Accies game, and well, a big score.
Yeah, I know. Well, we played them last week at Melrose, and then again today, and they're a good team. To be fair, they probably should be a semi-final team, but we knew we had to set the stall out from the start, and then we did that, and then obviously put Selkirk away in the final. So, all round a good day.
That's right, and of course it puts you top of the table in the Kings of the Sevens at the moment. Whether the Melrose Sevens points count or not, which we'll find out soon, but you're still top of the table.
I know, it's good to be sitting up there. We didn't get off to the best of starts early on in the season there, but we've took a real focus on the Sevens, and we want to win Kings this year. So we're going to keep trying to plug away at the tournaments and hopefully pick up some more wins.
I was going to say, because it's been with Watsonians for 3 times on the trot, and then of course we haven't had it for a couple of years, so it's about time we had a border side on there.
Yeah, it would be good to get us back up there, and even for the young boys that have never won it before, get them a chance at winning Kings. So fingers crossed.
It's good to see sort of the old school there. Obviously your brother, there's Gary Munro and Rory Marshall still loving the Sevens.
Aye, well that's it. Me and Luce are 30 now, but we still want to win it. We still want to be involved, bring the young boys through, and hopefully we can do that, and like I say, win more trophies this year. And
it's nice as well because 15s is now done and dusted totally, and you can really concentrate. There have been times in the past where that hasn't been possible.
I mean the last few times that we've been involved at Jed, we've not been able to focus on the Sevens until kind of 3-4 tournaments in, but now it's over, we can focus on it. The rest of the Borders clubs can now focus on it as well, and I'm sure next week will be a lot more competitive.